It's Clive Roxinger here. Garage project is now starting to come together. I haven't been able to get the proper stuff for this lathe, and so now I'm going to have to get really drastic. I've tried the regular routes. What I have found is I've got enough equipment to put a regular pulley on that. I want to put a new motor on this, but I need to use the lathe to fit the new motor. So all I really want to do is get this thing going round and round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this big wheel, and I'm going to put a conventional pulley on it. And I'll get one roughly about the right centre. I should be able to buy all the stuff I need. It's pre-cut to size, the machine to the right dimensions. It's only 1.8" shaft, so I should be able to get a pulley that'll fit on there directly. It's got to be secured onto the shaft. I can figure out some way of doing that. So I think it's got a flat on it, fairly big flat. I've now got Blender down here now on my laptop. I've got Windows 10. I've been updated to Win 10 Pro. And these are the pulleys that I'm going to use, this type of thing. Basically I'll just run a single pulley, just get the thing going round and round. I'll only be able to do light cuts, but at least I can use the lathe again. And I'm going to have to draw all this up to fit this new system, because it's going to be a bit of a contraption. What I've got to do is run the big pulley on that big wheel, which is this type of one. Then I'll go down onto this one, and then I'm going to have to work out all the ratios, and luckily I've already dabbled in this, so it's just in my mind's eye. I know what I'm buying, and you know, that's about the smallest you can get. And I bought a couple of them locally, and now I'll get these on the net. I'll buy it all off the net now. I'm not going to buy anything locally anymore. It used to be on the net that you got no advice, but I'm not getting any advice locally either. So now basically I'm just going to fall on the net. I've got a pretty good idea what I need, and basically I just have to take my risks, or take a risk, and just, you know, if I get the wrong thing, I just have to keep buying until I get the right thing. This thing here was overkill, but I couldn't get a simple one. Blake reckoned it was an air conditioner journal or something, but I know engineers use these types. This is a very fancy one. I've only got a cheap type of one of those, and I've got to mount all this and try and ratio the thing down, because that motor goes way too fast. The one I've got to fit onto it, it's actually got a clear walkway here now. This one is not really ideal because it's a saw motor. It's too fast and probably got no torque, and I think it's only a fairly low rating. It's only half horse. It might even be a horsepower, but it hasn't really got the torque. It's mainly for speed, and wood cutting you don't cut for 4 hours. This, on the other hand, is a water pump motor, heaps of power, heaps of torque, and it's designed for operation to run thick in 2 hours or something like that. So this would be a much better motor to put on it. It's really heavy duty like this one. But the one problem with this is this normally drives off a flange. This motor, this particular one, the original, drives off the base. So that's problematic. So what I've got to do now is I've got to try and figure out some way of reinforcing the bottom and actually bolting it up to the flange. And I've got to try and figure out how to get that pulley off. I haven't had any success with that so far. I'm not going to butcher it. It's got to try and figure it out. It's a Compton's Parkinson or something. So everything's underway. I've got a couple of motors here. This one is beautiful. When you start it up and running, you can't even hear it running, and it's a very powerful motor, 7.5 amps, so it's really got some kick, and it's a 3/4 horse, I think. So I think something like that. I think it had written down there somewhere. The other one was only a 1/3 horse, but massive torque with that one. But all I really want to do is some really light cutting, so I reckon that'll be powerful enough if I can gear it down enough. And yeah, so I'm going to have to, it's not really butcher it, I'm just going to have to modify it in a way that I would normally not like to, but then I'll set it all up and I'll be able to machine up all the bits for me. Here, mate, I want to get it. I wanted to get an ABB, and then he tried to sell me a cheap Chinese piece of junk. You know, you ring up ABB, which are Prestige motors, and he said that they're 3-phase, and I read, and somebody locally told me too, that you can actually buy a phase inverter where you can run it off 240 and it'll run a 3-phase motor. How much they are, God knows, and I don't know whether that actually works that way, but I believe it does. And that way I'd be able to run the ABB motor. I really want to run an ABB because they're very high quality. They're Swedish, and they've got a Swedish guitar, Takamine. They got bought out by the Japanese, but still, you know, Swedish design, very, very good. Easily competitive with the Chinese and the Japanese and that. They're very, very good designers. So, it's pretty, I don't like it, it's depressing me. This is a motor I quickly drew up on Blender. Got it on the laptop. And I've got to draw all this configuration up to, I've got my new press there now. And basically this part will remain belt, but the drive part of it, which is down here, that's going to now be a regular fan belt type of drive. I've got plenty of fan belts here, I've got them all over the place. I've got to make sure I've got a common one that I can get more of. I'll get a common brand of one in a common dimension, and I should be able to get this thing going. And I'm not going to burst the press because I don't like not having, I paid $2 grand for this lathe. I've had it for 10 years, but I don't like not having it going. As you can see, I'm very, very fussy with my lathe. I keep it in good nick, and I'll fix it, I'll get it going. And then I'll buy a brand new, hopefully I'll buy an ABB motor for it, and make it look all spiffy. So, garage project. Seems to be coming along nicely. Clive Rocksinger, over and out.